If I told you it was possible to make $5,000 a month selling print-on-demand wall art, would you believe me? I know it sounds like a huge number, but in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why it's more realistic than you probably think. First, this is a massive and growing market. According to a recent report, the global home decor market is projected to grow from $57 billion in 2023 to almost $80 billion by 2028. Secondly, wall art taps into emotion. Whether it's family names, pet memorials, wedding dates, or inspirational quotes, people are buying wall art because it means something to them. And as you know, products that connect emotionally are always easier to sell. Thirdly, wall art has a naturally high perceived value. I mean, if you think about it, someone's decorating their home. They're willing to spend $50, $70, and even $100 or more to get something that feels special. Personally, I have sold wall art at that price, and when I do so, I feel it's because this product feels premium. I can charge more and keep more profit per sale. Lastly, this is one of the easiest products to actually personalize. Whether you're adding a name, a date, or some sort of a custom message, suddenly your product is not just a sign, it is their sign. In today's video, I'm going to break it all down for you. I'll talk through niche selection, I'll even talk about design creation as well, and how to price it for maximum profits. And then we'll close out the video by talking about how to get traffic to your store from social media. And if you're brand new and you want to get some help setting up your Shopify store the right way, make sure to check out my free print-on-demand course. It's linked down in the description. Now let's break down exactly how many sales you would need every single day in order to make over $5,000 in profit per month selling print-on-demand wall art. If we take a look at this store here, you can see they are pricing the 8x10 canvas at $69.95. And here inside of Shine On, they don't actually have an 8x10, but their 8x12 starts at just $13. And again, if we are comparing it to this store here, you can see that the profit is pretty heavy on a sale like that. And if you're doing math here, you will see that on every single sale with all of the numbers we've been through so far, you would be making over $50 in profit per sale. That means with just a few sales per day, you would be over $5,000 in profit per month. As I mentioned, as we go through the video today, I'm going to be breaking down niche choices. I'm also going to be talking extensively about design and even how to get traffic to your store from social media. And now we're going to talk about one of the biggest keys to actually making this work. We're talking about choosing the right niche, because even if you have a great product like wall art, if you're not targeting the right audience, you're not going to make any sales. Now, to find a winning niche, you need to look for niches that are personal and emotional. Wall art to me is about celebrating different relationships that exist in a family. It could be something around memories as well, or passions and identities that people have. What I'm thinking about here is family name signs or things for the man cave, or something that someone would hang in a garage or a game room. You could also consider pet memorial prints, wedding gifts, or even different things for the nursery. These are essentially going to be emotional purchases, and emotional purchases are what are actually going to drive our high profit sales. Now, second, you're going to want to go where there is already demand. One simple way you could do this is by searching on Etsy, something like personalized wall art, or some sort of a keyword like sports family or dog or wedding or something like that. And when you do this, you're going to instantly see what kinds of designs people are already buying. Now, if you've watched my channel before, you know that I don't sell on Etsy. That does not mean, though, that it is not a great place to get different design ideas to sell on our own Shopify store. And like I said at the beginning, if you do need help setting up a Shopify store, I do have a free course down in the description of this video. It is called POD for Dummies. Inside, you will see over 30 videos showing you how to build your store and get started with social media marketing. Now, inside of Etsy or wherever it is that you are researching, what you're doing is you're looking at the best sellers. Mainly, you're looking at how they are priced and how they are designed. Remember, though, you're not copying, you are researching. I'm going to share more about designs in a moment. I just wanted to sort of direct your attention to that idea. What we're trying to do is learn what is working, so that way we can bring our own twist to it. Now, thirdly, we are thinking about niches where people are proud to show off their identity. I'm talking about things like military service or being proud of where you live. You could also focus on faith and family or classic cars and motorcycles and boats and things like that. These are powerful themes that people love to display inside of their home. In my opinion, if you can combine a proven niche with some sort of emotional personalization, you are going to be setting yourself up for success before you even launch your product. Take a look at this store. One reason they're likely doing so well is that they have amazing mock-ups. If you are going to sell wall art, you might want to upgrade some of your supplier mock-ups, since in some cases they can be sort of generic and lackluster. Now, just like for other products that I have sold and shown on the channel here, my recommendation for mock-ups is Place It. They have thousands of mock-ups for tons of different print-on-demand items. For wall art, they definitely have an extensive amount of mock-ups in here. Like I said, if you are trying to sell wall art, you might want to consider Place It or even something else to try and get yourself some better mock-ups. With Place It, you can definitely see the difference between how your products might be perceived. In the description of this video, I do have a 15% discount that Place It has given to my subscribers. You could use it on either their monthly or their annual plans. Now, once you've chosen your niche, the next step is actually coming up with your designs. And I really want to emphasize that your designs should be simple. You do not need to be a professional designer in order to succeed with wall art. In fact, some of the best-selling designs out there that you can find are extremely minimal. We could see examples like a rustic farmhouse sign with someone's last name, also a date. You could also picture signs that would go in a man cave with just a few strong words and a couple of graphics. And you could also consider some sort of a pet memorial print with the photo of the pet, a name, and even a short phrase. What we're talking about is using very simple layouts, clear fonts, and maybe a few small decorative elements, things like vectors or other types of graphics, and that is it. Essentially, if you can type text into a graphic design software and use various resources to get different pieces of clip art or even different vectors, you can create a print-on-demand wall art design. And like I said before, personalization is definitely your secret weapon here. When you are adding fields like families' names or even dates or the pet's name, you are instantly creating a product that feels one of a kind to the buyer. The goal here is to keep it simple, to make it clean, but also emotional. Essentially, that is the three-part formula that you will want to follow when you are designing wall art. And like I said, this is absolutely something that you can start doing even if this is your first product. Now that you've got your product locked in, your design, your niche, and your pricing, the next question is, how are you actually going to drive traffic to your store? This is something I've talked about a lot here on my channel, and I want to give you an overview of my three-part social media marketing strategy. As print-on-demand sellers, we have a few strong options. Even if you're just starting out, the first option is always going to be Facebook and Instagram ads. Personalized wall art is something that works extremely well with paid ads because you can actually show people what the design would look like. You can run simple video or even carousel ads showing numerous different examples with different pet photos or different names on them. And again, because we are targeting people based on the interest they have, this is a product that becomes a pure emotional buy for them. Now, the second option here is organic content. Now, platforms like Facebook and Instagram are also great for organic traffic as well. What I typically like to do is put together a content strategy. This content strategy would include things like memes or other types of videos about the niche. Essentially, what I'm trying to do is create an account that people in the niche will actually want to follow. Depending on how in-depth you want to go, you could also post short videos of your products, maybe even customer reactions that you get as you begin to make sales. In the past, I have even done unboxings of my products as well. Essentially, what you're trying to do, like I said, is create create an account that people in your niche will actually want to follow, and if you have some of that other content that I mentioned, you could begin posting some of that as well. The main goal though is to understand that you do not need to go viral. What you are trying to do is show up and be consistent and just try to show your products to your niche. Now, the third option here is influencer marketing. I have a bunch of videos here on my channel where I have shown different things that I have done, but essentially what we are trying to do here is send a sample to an influencer, basically a content creator inside of your niche. What you're trying to do is get yourself a shout out from the right influencer in your niche. This can literally put your product in front of thousands of targeted buyers, essentially their niche-based followers. And this is something that works especially well, like I said, if your influencer has a sample of your item. They can show it to their audience in photos or even in videos. They can also promote a discount code to their followers, essentially allowing them to save a little bit of money when they shop on your store. And honestly, you don't have to pick one of these strategies. You can combine them over time. Honestly, the key here is simple. Don't wait for your customers to just magically find you. You have to put your product in front of them. And when you do that consistently, that's when you can begin to make sales. And as we wrap up the video today, I have reviewed lots of different wall art items here on my channel in the past. You can go through some of my other videos and you can see tons of different samples from multiple different print-on-demand suppliers. That way you can see the quality of some of these items before you actually try to sell them. In terms of today's video, I want to quickly recap the game plan that you are going to be following to build yourself a wall art print-on-demand store. Like I said at the beginning, wall art is a massive and growing market. This is something that is going to be expected to hit almost $80 billion by 2028. We also talked about, in order to actually take advantage of some of that sales increase, you're going to want to focus on high profit niches. We talked about things like family signs or man cave wall art or pet memorials and wedding gifts and things like that. Lastly, I showed you some examples of how you'll want to go about keeping your design simple. We also talked a lot about adding personalization into your design to make it an impulse buy. Fourthly, we talked about pricing your product. I did show you an example today that was probably on the higher end of the spectrum. Obviously, you're going to want to price, so that way you can see what price and profit level is actually going to work in your niche. Ultimately, though, this is a product where you do not need that many sales to actually begin building yourself a profitable print-on-demand business. And lastly, traffic is going to come primarily from Facebook and Instagram. We talked about 3 different methods. First, we talked through Facebook ads. Second, we talked about a content strategy and you trying to get organic traffic to your store. And thirdly, we talked about influencer marketing. Honestly, a good mix of all 3 is probably enough for you to get started with. And ultimately, we do not need hundreds of designs for a print-on-demand store selling wall art. You also don't need a huge audience. You really just need a winning niche, a few quality designs, and consistent marketing. That is how I have ran my print-on-demand store since 2016. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I do have a free course. It's called POD for Dummies. There's a link down in the description and it will walk you through the process of actually building a store and getting started with social media marketing. So thank you guys for watching this video, and if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. I will see you in the next one.